Good morning, everybody. My name is Peter C. We're here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. And today we're going to be looking at a 2020 Mercedes Sprinter conversion van. If you're someone out there that has a dream of living in a van down by the river, this is a really great option. So this is built on a Mercedes Sprinter 2500 chassis, and it is a 4x4 as well. Being a 2020 Sprinter, it's going to be powered by a 3-liter V6 turbo diesel engine, which is 188 horsepower, 325 foot-pounds of torque. So we're going to get started by going around the exterior. So as I mentioned, this is a 4x4 van. They have these huge, oversized 275, I think 70 R17 tires on it. These are the BF Goodrich Baja Champion. They also have aftermarket wheels as well. These are the Black Rhino wheels. So very, very, off-grid capable van. If you're trying to get to those 4x4 trailheads, this is something you're going to be able to do that in. Every single Mercedes Sprinter van has a step on the hood up front. That's just going to allow you to reach the windshield, since obviously this windshield is a little bit higher. And then coming down our driver's side here. So on both sides of the van, you're going to have these heavy-duty rock sliders. Again, really great for if you like to 4x4, that just keeps any rocks or anything from causing body damage to the side of the coach. This also does have a 30 amp shore cord hookup. We do have lithium batteries and solar on this coach as well, which we'll take a closer look at back in the rear. Also comes with this side mounted ladder. So fully capable of supporting your body weight, allows you to climb up on the roof to access your solar panels up there if you need to get up there and clean them off or anything. This does have 200 watts of solar on the roof. And now coming back to our rear tires, one of the really cool things they did with this was they actually added aftermarket suspension to your rear tires. So if you can get a shot all the way back in there, this has the Falcon adjustable suspension. If you see that little red switch right there, there are actually 3 settings that you can set this suspension to. It's basically hard, medium, and soft, depending on what road conditions you're on. So if you're cruising down the highway or if you're going down a really rough 4x4 trail, you can adjust that suspension to whatever makes the ride most comfortable for you. And then coming to our back door here, we're gonna have another roof access ladder here with our spare tire mounted and some great gear storage in the back. We'll have this, gotta open that up. Big gearbox back here. You do have gas struts that'll hold the lid up for you, but you have a nice shelf in here to keep everything organized. Right now we have our shore power cord in there, but I always tell anyone looking at B vans that having exterior storage options is really important, because in these B vans there is no interior storage for the most part. You're going to see a couple cabinets, a couple gear bags, but not a lot. So the more exterior storage you can have, the better off you're going to be. And then we have a little basket down beneath this. This would be a great spot to put extra water tanks, maybe an extra fuel can, anything like that. I'll go ahead and open up our back doors here. One of the other really cool things they did with this van is they added these really heavy-duty gas struts to it. Now, these make it a little bit difficult to close, but the good thing about this is you will never have to worry about these doors blowing shut in the wind. These are extremely strong gas struts. They also have a step here on the back, so that's going to allow you to be able to step up and climb into the bed from the rear if you ever wanted to do that. This also will have your Van Essentials roll down screen. So this is a 2-piece screen. You're just gonna zipper this together in the middle. Allows you to open up your back doors while you're sitting at your, sitting down by the river in bed. You can open your back doors, get all the fresh air in there, but keep all the bugs out. So these roll down screens are really great for that. Now, take a look at some of the storage back here. This has a really great roll-out tray on it. These are really cool. If you put anything heavy in here, being able to roll it all the way out to where you don't have to hunch over and grab it makes it just all the more easy to access everything you're gonna put in the back of your van. There also is plenty of interior height in here. If you wanted to put bicycles or something like that back here, you would have enough room to store that. Now, on this side, go ahead and remove this cover. We just have a little bit of storage in the wheel well right there. So that's going to be completely hollow. You can utilize that fully for storage. And then on the other side is where all the electrical systems for this van are going to be housed. So if you take a look back in here, see that little blue box? That's going to be our Victron solar charge controller. We also have two 100 amp hour Battle-Born lithium batteries. And then all the way in the back, the gray box back there is going to be your 2000 watt Xantrex inverter. So quite a lot of battery capacity, considering that this van really doesn't have a lot of systems. You're gonna have a small AC unit, you're gonna have a few little lights, so not a lot of electrical draw, which translates to 200 amp hours is gonna go a long way for you. Now, if we come around our passenger side here, take our little awning attachment here, and we'll show you how the awning works. So this is a Fiamma F80 awning. This is actually a manual awning, not an automatic awning. And these are a lot easier to use than people think. You're gonna have these little poles in the back. All you have to do is clip this on right there and crank it. Just like that, and that whole awning will crank out. So super, super simple to set up. Not as much of a pain in the butt as people might think. And then you're gonna have two arms as well that were in the rear. So once this awning is fully extended, you can go ahead and attach those arms, and that'll support that awning so it doesn't get broken or bounce around too much in the wind. And then again, same thing on this side as far as the adjustable suspension for your rear axle there. And then same heavy duty rock slider all the way down the passenger side as well. Now we'll head on indoors. And again, same exact roll down screen we talked about for the rear door. You're gonna have a roll down screen that's gonna zipper together here and completely block off this sliding door. So again, if you're camping up in the mountains, especially here in Colorado, it's really pleasant at night in the summer. So you can open all the doors of this van, put all your screen doors down, and let all that fresh air in without having to worry about the bugs. All right. Now coming into the interior of the van, we'll start off in the kitchen and go over this area briefly. So we have this nice bamboo countertop. We have a sink with a little sprayer one there and a single burner propane stove. Now if we look underneath here, this is going to be the water systems for this coach. Very, very simple. So we have one little propane canister mounted in the back there. That is going to be for that single burner gas cooktop. And then we have two freshwater tanks right there. You also would put a gray water tank over there, just a canister or whatever to catch your gray water. That's what the tube in the rear is for. So you can have this basically 1 gallon, one 5-gallon canister, but you can bring as many extra bottles of fresh water as you want to. So you could take 3 or 4 extra bottles and put them in that rear basket that we talked about, really increase how far you can go. The really nice thing about this is you're not gonna have to worry about winterizing this fan. As long as it's warm enough in here, as long as you keep the interior above freezing, you're never gonna have to worry about winterization or anything like that with this fan. We also have a small refrigerator with a little freezer box up top. And a small little gear drawer underneath our countertop. You have a couple lights mounted underneath your countertop here, and you're gonna have one light switch for that right there. A little paper towel holder as well. And then just some more storage up here above. And these are actually really nice cabinets because they're metal and really solid hinges. So these aren't the kind of cabinets that are gonna be a rattle box when you're going down the road like you see with a lot of wooden cabinets. All right, we also have a countertop extension right here. So you can raise this up, just give you a little bit more prep space. Down here, right next to your cooktop, you have two 110 outlets and a cigarette outlet. So if you wanted to use an induction cooktop, an electric cooktop or something like that, you could plug it into your 110 right there. And again, this does have a 2000 watt inverter, so you have more than enough to be able to run that. This is going to be our toilet. So there is no shower, no black tank or anything in this RV. There's just gonna be this composting toilet right here. You have a little bit of storage down on the right side. They've elected to use that for toilet paper, but you could put whatever you need to there. And then a little bit more storage all the way on the side there. And then we have a seat in here actually. So this is a really nice seat to have. Number one, if you wanted to take this out, there's only 2 bolts that are holding this in. You could take this out yourself at home, put it back in if you're gonna take trips that you wanna bring passengers along with you. But this folds up and down really easily. At least I think it does. Once I find the right, there we go. And then there's gonna be one more right there. So that's super simple. It's gonna be 2 latches that you flip down, fold this down. You have 3-point harnesses in here. If you're someone that travels with kids, you could safely put like child carriers back here with the 3-point harnesses. And then we also have a table in front of that. So you have a little table post back there. Go ahead and screw that in. And then you have a small tabletop. So if you want to sit here, set up your laptop, maybe sit down, you know, have somewhere to put a drink or something to eat. Very easy table to just pull out and remove. And then take a look at some of the controls on the wall here real quick. So number one, this is going to be your MaxxAir fan vent. So that is for your front exhaust fan. You just have a remote for that. This is going to be the controller for that 2000 watt Xantrex inverter. Down here is going to be your diesel heater. So this is equipped with an Eberspacher diesel heater. This is actually mounted underneath the passenger seat. So this will burn diesel from your chassis fuel tanks. So it's the same fuel tank that you'll fuel up at the gas station. And this will provide heat for the coach. You also have your AC controls up here. So this has one 13.5K BTU Dometic AC unit, which is mounted right above the bed. It is not a ducted AC unit, so the intake and the dump are gonna be located right above the bed. But what's nice about that is if you're camping in hot climates, it makes sure all that air is focused right on you when you're sleeping. And then we have our light switch, our water pump switch, our fridge, and accessory is something if you wanted to add some additional switches to it, there's a dedicated spot for that. All right, now moving back to the bed. Queen size bed, really nice memory foam mattress with this bamboo pillow topper on it, so it's extremely comfortable. You do have 2 windows back here. And it's gonna be opening windows on either side, but these have these nice insulated covers which will magnetically clip to the window. So it just helps you have a little bit more insulation if you're in a really cold climate. And then we have gear bags all the way around up here. And you could customize this however you want. All they are is mounted to a rail on the wall, so you can move these around. You could add additional gear storage bags, really whatever you dream of. On the rear, on either side, you're also gonna have outlets back there. So those are USB and USB-C charging ports. So while you're sleeping in bed at night, you have a spot to plug in any of your personal devices. All right, now we'll do a 180 here and shift up to the front of the van. So I really like what they did with this overhead cap because there is plenty of storage up here. We have a bunch more of the insulated covers for the windows. We have the insulated cover for your front window. But what's really nice is this actually will all seal shut. So instead of having to worry about anything you put in that overhead cap falling out, you can zip that whole thing shut. And then we also have 3 little pockets in here as well. So really good place to keep all your, you know, random little items that you bring along with you organized. Sometimes when you have really small miscellaneous items, you don't just want to throw them in a cabinet, you want small places to keep them. So you have lots of options for storage up there. And then we also have this kind of Laguna table mounted up front. So your front seats are both going to be 180-degree swivel seats. So you can turn those around to face towards the cab like I have this one. And then you can use this as a nice lap tray. Again, if you want to have somewhere you can work on your laptop, eat a meal, it's a really comfortable seat for that. This table is also adjustable height, so you could lower this down or raise it up to, you know, whatever your heart's content. We also have another table mount here in the center. So this is going to be for that small circular table that we showed you in the rear. You could also mount that right there next to your passenger seat. All right, and then up into the cab, just go over a few things here. So this came with an aftermarket module up here. What this does is this will actually allow you to use wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So you have CarPlay and Android Auto, which was not standard on the 2020 Mercedes Sprinter. Move this cord out of the way. And we also do have a backup camera on this coach. So when you put it in reverse, you're gonna have 3 angles that you can see for your backup camera. And real quick, we'll put the mileage in the comments on this one, if anyone's curious about the exact mileage on it. As far as safety features, you'll have really basic things like active braking and lane assistance features, lane departure warnings, that kind of stuff. But all right, that is going to wrap up our tour for today. If you guys have any questions about this van, if you'd like to come by and see it, just please give me a call. My number is 719-799-8357. Thanks for watching our video.